MakingAscene.org recently highlighted a shift in the industry. The most effective music managers today operate as workflow designers. For decades, the dream was simple. Find a manager who knows the right people, and they make a single phone call that launches your career. Today, the traditional gatekeeper model is fading out, but a lot of independent artists have traded it for a new illusion. They spend their time chasing algorithms on platforms like TikTok and Spotify, trying to hack their way to a viral moment. You can stack up millions of views, streams, and followers, but these are often just smoke signals. They look great on a dashboard, but a view is not a ticket buyer, and a follower is not an email subscriber. You can't pay your rent with a playlist ad. This leaves musicians in a state of constant chaos. Your audience is fragmented across half a dozen apps, meaning you are entirely dependent on rented attention. The platforms own the relationship, not you. Getting people to milice you is easier than ever. The actual problem is that without a proper system, all that hard-earned attention is leaking out before it ever turns into a sustainable business. This is where a workflow designer steps in. Instead of just telling you to post more content, a workflow designer builds a repeatable system. They ask a much more practical question: what exactly happens after the post works? Let's look at a hypothetical independent artist named Lena. She has a dedicated regional following and a new EP coming out in 8 weeks. Instead of dropping a link and hoping for the best, Lena treats discovery platforms as doorways. She uses her Instagram and TikTok to explicitly direct fans out of the feed and into an ecosystem she actually controls. Platforms are highly effective for reaching a massive crowd, but an owned system is the only way you can actually serve a dedicated community. To build that community, Lena uses the MakingAscene Artist Fan Passport OS. It's a transparent tool where fans willingly share their information in exchange for real value. This approach reclaims fan data as memory with structure, built entirely on earned ethical consent. Fans opt in with basic inputs. They share their name, their location, and give clear permission for email and SMS contact. Every piece of this data has a distinct job. Geography tells Lena exactly where to route her next tour. The email list gives her a direct channel for long-form storytelling. And SMS permissions are handled with care, saved for immediate, high-priority nudges. By asking clearly and offering actual rewards in return, this transparent exchange takes a passive scroller and turns them into an active part of an owned audience. When it's time to hit the road for the new EP, Lena doesn't guess where to play. She looks at her fan passport data and routes a highly targeted 4-city regional tour based exactly on where her audience lives. Fans in those specific cities get the first email announcements, and the people who buy tickets get a quick SMS reminder the morning of the show. At the venue, the merch table acts as an extension of this system. Merch becomes a physical relationship object. Buying a vinyl record and scanning a QR code at the table earns the fan a new digital passport stamp. That physical purchase triggers the next step in the digital workflow. The following morning, those buyers automatically receive a thank you email containing an exclusive live acoustic track. Tracking thousands of fans across different cities, purchases, and reward tiers creates a significant administrative workload. This is where artificial intelligence becomes a practical assistant. It handles the repetitive plumbing, like analyzing which fans respond best to specific email subject lines, allowing Lena to stay focused on her creative voice. By connecting touring, merchandise, and data, her music career stops being a series of random gambles. It becomes a compounding system that learns and improves with every single release. The major label system operates like a lottery. You either become a household name or you disappear. But the modern reality for independent music looks very different. There is a growing space between those extremes. It's the music industry middle class, and it is where sustainable, long-term careers actually live. The math of this middle class is straightforward. You do not need millions of casual listeners. You just need a dedicated core of supporters interacting within a structured system. Within that core, loyalty is recognized. Fans who show up repeatedly are rewarded with memberships, early access to tickets, or invitations to private listening events. A functioning career is built on returning consistent value to the right people, rather than burning yourself out looking for validation from everyone. Independent artists have a choice to make. They have to stop waiting for a mythical gatekeeper to show up and grant them permission to succeed. If you want this system to exist for your music, the first iteration of that workflow designer must be you. This doesn't mean you should drown in administrative work until you burn out, but until you understand the basic mechanics of your own business, you won't know if someone else is actually managing your career or just decorating the chaos. Understanding the system makes you harder to exploit. The music industry middle class will be built by artists who stop waiting for access to the old castle and start constructing their own town. To learn more about the tools and strategies that are shaping the future of independent music, check out the other articles and resources over at makingascene.org.